Good morning, you guys. By the time you watch this, it will already be April. But right now, it is, like March 29th. So I've got today, tomorrow, and the next day in March, and that's it. And you know what I haven't done? Barely any freaking work on my book. You know those goals that I set at the beginning of the month? I did go to one yoga class, but really one is not enough. But then I went to North Carolina for a week, and then when I got back, allergies are just in full effect here, and I feel like doing downward dog is not the greatest thing for me right now, so I haven't been going to any yoga classes, which I'm grateful that the one yoga class I did go to, I did like the instructor, but I wanted to go to at least 5 this month so I could try out a bunch of different instructors and see who I truly liked, but the world just kind of did not allow me to do that this month. One of the things I want to do and I need to do is make progress on my goals towards my book. So I have an idea of a launch date that I want to go with, but I'm not sure if I'm going to end up sticking with that. I just need to be realistic on when do I actually need to finish this book? When do I need to give it to an editor? When do I need to work on the cover and stuff? Well, I'm actually going to hire out someone helping me with the cover, but even doing a photo shoot for the cover. There's a lot that goes into it, and I've kind of put it on the back burner just because I've had another project come into my life that I'm so incredibly passionate about, and I wanted that one to come first. You guys will find out more about it very, very soon. So that project is coming, as well as, oh my gosh, you guys, this month I ended up getting an amazing opportunity to work with Target, as I'm folding their pajamas right now, because you guys know I'm obsessed with their pajamas. By the time you guys watch this, it'll actually already be done. But in 2 days, I'm actually doing a live stream with Target on their YouTube channel and their Facebook with another creator. So seriously, such a cool opportunity, but that has been taking up a good bit of my time. So yeah, the book has been put on the back burner, and I need it to not be on the back burner because I told you guys it's not almost a year. I told you guys in June last year that I was starting writing it. And I just have not been consistent with it. So that's what we're doing today, holding ourselves accountable to our goals. And then the next video you guys are going to see from me is going to be my March recap and my goals for April. This is my current setup. It's a bit wild. I mean, I've got my cord running the whole way through my house, connecting me to the internet. But all of this is in place for the Target Live that I am doing, and I don't want to mess with it. Book stuff, okay? I'm gonna sit you down. I really have no idea what the heck I'm doing. Let me just be fully transparent here. I've had a few people ask me wait, how do you publish a book? I want to publish a book, and I am not the person to go to for advice because I have never done it before. I'm just figuring it out as I go, and I have done a ton of research. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos trying to figure it out, and even then I just feel I don't necessarily know what I'm doing. I don't know if that's straight or not. So what I decided to do was just kind of write the book first. Like I said, I'm going to hire out an editor. I'm gonna hire someone to help me with the formatting of the book, and then also the front and back cover of the book, that whole design process. I'm gonna probably hire out a photographer to help me with the photo and stuff that I want on the front. And yeah, I'm gonna be outsourcing a lot when it comes to this. I have actually had people reach out to me that are book editors or that are people that help people with writing books, and I just honestly haven't gotten back to anyone because I'm I just need to write the book first. That's my mindset. I just want to get the book written and make sure that I actually want to come out with this, which I know I've talked about it so much with you guys, but honestly, I've been waffling back and forth a million times on should I even come out with this book, because what I want to share is very vulnerable, and I know that it's gonna open me up to a whole new world, and honestly open you guys up to a whole new world and a different side of me that then getting the comments and the judgment on that, and really that's like all it is like then the accusations and the assumptions, and it's just like a lot. Like I want to like share my story to help other people, but I don't want the judgment and the backlash that's gonna come with it. I don't even want to say backlash because backlash really, well, honestly, there's probably backlash, but like still, whatever. Yeah, my strategy for writing this book so far has just been writing chapters here and there. There has been real, like, no outline, no plan. It's just like whatever's come to my mind, whatever I thought was important to write about, I wrote about. And now that I'm looking back, now that I've had a lot of time to just like sit on what I've written and really think about it, I think this book is gonna take a different shape than what I originally thought. Last night I watched Olivia Rodrigo's Drive Home to You, whatever it is, on Disney Plus that just came out. Watching that and the way that she shared her story and just like the vulnerability within her songs. Like there's so many songs that I listen to that I just cry because I just like feel it so deeply. And I was actually on Instagram this morning and I saw Amber fill her up. Apparently her audience had been messaging her that she might be a highly sensitive person just based off of what she was sharing in her Instagram stories, and recommended that she take a test. And I was like, wait, I've never heard of this before. So I ended up taking a test and I was like 82% out of 100. I was high on the highly sensitive person and I was like, oh, this makes sense. Everything that I'm reading, I'm like, this so makes sense. Like why I'm so impacted by other people's art and just like why I am the way that I am. And I would love to look more into that because apparently, I think, what did it say? Like 20 to 25% of the population is only considered highly sensitive. And I don't know. I would just be curious to learn more. That was a total tangent. I was watching that last night and I just had like a huge spark of creativity and I was like, wait, I need to totally change the way that I'm telling this story because what I've written right now isn't necessarily a storyline. It's just like, and here's this, and here's this, and then this happened, and then this happened. When it's like, I want to tell my story while also... Like I have a title for this book. The title of this book has not changed. I know exactly what the title of this book is going to be, and it's going to be friggin' fabulous, and I'm so excited for it. And if I just like told you guys the title, all of this would make sense. But I don't want to tell you the title because I honestly don't want anyone to steal it before I come out with this book. So I've been, you know, as the kids like to say these days, gatekeeping the name of my book. One of the reasons why I wanted to create this video is because, what is the quote? Goal without a plan is just a dream. That's not the quote. It's something like that. You know, like if you're setting goals for the new year and you're not actually creating a plan to achieve them, it's like, it's not gonna happen. You're like, okay, I wanna make 6 figures this year. Heck yes, that's awesome. But like, what are you doing to make those 6 figures? Like, are you creating new revenue streams for yourself? Are you coming out with new products? Are you reaching out to more brands to become an affiliate or to do sponsorships? If you're not actually putting in the action, if you're not actually putting in the work, it's never gonna happen. So one of the reasons I wanted to create this is to just show you guys like how I kind of work through these things and create a plan for myself. And that's today. I've got a little tip for you guys here. So this is something that I have done with a couple of projects, and it's just so incredibly helpful to move things around and work with it in this way. So I've got this pack, which was over 200 index cards. I seriously bought this at the start of my brand. Like I've had this for probably 6 years at this point, and I still have so many cards that I can go through. What I like to do is, like, what I was actually working on, I came up with some chapter ideas, some title ideas for those chapters, and I was just at a point where I was like, what the heck is the flow of this going to look like? Because like it's very hard for me to see while moving things around on here. So I was like, girl, go back to your old handy dandy trick. So on this side that doesn't have anything, I'm going to write the chapter title, and then on this side, on another one, I'm going to actually put the content and what I want to include in that chapter. So there might be some that I'm like, okay, this is a chapter idea, but I don't have a title for, and then I can come up with an idea later. I might be able to move some things around and be like, okay, wait, this could actually go within this chapter because this story makes sense there. I already have some ideas of like stories and stuff that I want to share that I haven't written about yet. And honestly, I really want to go back through my journals. I brought my journals with me on the lake trip that I went on last year, if you guys remember that. I told myself that was going to be a writer's retreat, and I did write a lot, but I didn't write as much as I wanted to. And on that trip, I brought my journals, but I didn't end up even looking at them. And I know that some chapters, honestly, just might even be journal entries. And I think that's going to be really cool for you guys to see, so I'm excited about that. While I'm also doing this, like I want to find the underlying message to some of these things because I'm like, okay, This is a lot of like telling my story and my journey and how I got here. So I just wrote one like starting my brand. But there's so many things that go into starting my brand. So it's like, okay, what is going to be the message of that chapter when I share that story? Because I could talk about really like hating myself and body image and just like all of that stuff and how I wasn't taking care of myself. I could talk about how I was unhappy with my career and I actually started to make some change. So it could be like that direction. But it's just like trying to figure out, okay, what are going to be the underlying messages to these? So I'm almost thinking like, do I write down... I wanted to do something cool, something fun that, like, if you guys know me, you would like this touch, you know, type of thing. So I decided to come up with 21 chapters. I'm going to break it into 3 different sections. So 3 for March, 21, my birthday, 3, 2, 1. It's what I do, man. I just like love the little intricate details. So I came up with all 21 chapters. I don't necessarily have like the meaning behind every one of them, but I have just like written down pivotal things that I want to talk about. Hold on, I think Fancy wants in. Actually, I just got back from the gym, and while I was in the gym, I remembered something else, and I was like, oh, it would be important to talk about that. So I actually wrote down a note in my phone, so I got to figure out how that's going to fit in this. Fancy's crying, by the way, because she knows that we're about to go somewhere, but I want to finish this up real quick before we go somewhere. Sweetie Pea, hi, come here. Hi. We're going to go really soon, I promise, okay? I just want to finish this up really quick. Really quick, yeah. So with that all broken down, I have my launch date selected. I'm not sure if it's actually going to be my launch date though, just because I don't really know what the timeline is going to look like with hiring out some other parts of this. So the next step in my plan is just to kind of break it down, all the tasks that I need to complete, so then I can create an action plan for myself of like what dates things need to be completed by. Like when do I actually need to find an editor? When do I want to have my cover photo shot and all of that stuff done? So if I just like, actually, you know what? Hold on. This is legit something I already did. And I know I did it at the beginning of this year in my journal. So let's grab this. Yeah, oh my gosh, okay, so at the front of my journal, after all my goals and stuff, I put my goals breakdown. Create a writing plan, write the actual book, find an editor, first draft edit myself, research, process of self-publishing, I've done a lot of that, pick publishing date, have cover photo taken, get cover designed by ISBN, and all of that fun stuff. So some of this is just gonna transfer right over to my action plan. Now it's just like backtracking from launch date when I think I need to actually have things done. And it's a little bit of a guessing game, so I'm not entirely sure how good I'm going to be at this. I've got my breakdown done. I broke it down into what I want to have completed by April 30th, May 30th, and then for some reason I jumped to June 15th, June 30th, July 15th, and I was going like every 2 weeks then. Just in the beginning, I didn't want it to be like so pressured right away, but like really, I know like I want to write 10 new chapters in April, but if there's going to be 21 chapters, I don't even know how many I realistically have written, but my writing strategy going here on forward, like, needs to be different because every time I open up the document, I end up rereading what I've already written. So I think I need to go into it with, okay, I'm going to open up a new sheet, a new document. I'm going to write for this chapter, and then I'm going to include that into like the main big document so that I'm not distracted what I previously wrote. Like, I need to do the editing at certain points that are different from my writing points. So that's what I'm going to do going forward. So April, I got to write 10 new chapters. It's a lot. That equates to 2 chapters a week starting this week. It is already Tuesday. I'm going to have a busy day tomorrow. I'm going to have a busy day on Thursday. So I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to have time to write 2 new chapters, but I got this. I feel far more optimistic and just like focused now that I actually have a plan, now that I actually know what my chapters are going to be. And the way that I kind of want to look at it is as if I'm writing blog posts, because I'm so used to writing blog posts, or honestly, I was used to writing blog posts. I have not done it in so long that I feel like I'm going to be rough getting started. But if I just treat it like each chapter is a blog post, shoot for a little over like 2,000 words. It'll probably be more than that, but like we'll see how it goes. That's my goal. And I know I can do this. It's just like being disciplined and actually putting it in my calendar to get it done. And now that I have the goals set for myself, it's going to be a lot easier for me to get it done. Something that's very important to me as I continue to go through this process, though, is to prioritize myself and making sure that I take this process a little bit slow. So it's like, I write, I dive deep, I get into it, but then I'm also caring for myself. Like, my word of the year is selfish, and just like self-care and just like really making sure I'm good as I go through this process is so important, because I'm also doing some really deep work right now, trying to make some strides with my mental health. Fancy girl and I are actually gonna go to a trail. It is like 70 degrees outside. It's absolutely fabulous. And, you know, I did a good bit of work today organizing all of that. Proud of myself, crushed my goals for this month, minus like the yoga thing. But like, I kind of did the yoga thing, but like not really the yoga thing. So yeah, I'm gonna treat myself to a little trail, you know what, and then puzzle tonight. And it's gonna be absolutely freaking fabulous.